So I'm going to read 1 Samuel chapter 24, which is quite a big chunk to read, but I'm going to read it and I'm going to comment on it because I feel that this chapter gives a strong message. So just background, if you don't know the story of Saul and David, Saul basically feels threatened against David and he wants to kill him and has been chasing him. So yeah. So after Saul returned from pursuing the Philistines, he was told David is in the desert of En-gedi. So Saul took 3,000 able young men from all Israel and set out to look for David and his men near the crags of the wild goats. He came to the sheepfolds along the way. A cave was there, and Saul went in to relieve himself. David and his men were far back in the cave. The men said, "This is the day the Lord spoke of when he said to you, I will give your enemy into your hands for you to deal with us as you wish." Then David crept up unnoticed and cut off a corner of Saul's robe. Afterwards, David was conscience-stricken for having cut off a corner of his robe. He said to his men, "The Lord forbid that I should do such a thing to my master, the Lord's anointed, or lay my hand on him, for he is the anointed of the Lord." With these words, David sharply rebuked his men and did not allow them to attack Saul. And Saul left the cave and went his way. Then David went out of the cave and called out to Saul, "My lord, the king." When Saul looked behind him, David bowed down to prostrated himself with his face to the ground. He said to Saul, "Why do you listen when men say David is bent on harming you? This day you have seen with your own eyes how the Lord gave you into my hands in the cave. Some urged me to kill you, but I spared you. I said, I will not lay my hand on my Lord, because he is the Lord's anointed. See, my father, look at this piece of your robe in my hand. I cut off the corner of your robe, but did not kill you. See that there is nothing in my hand to indicate that I am guilty of wrongdoing or rebellion. I have not wronged you, but you are hunting me down to take my life. May the Lord judge between you and me, and may the Lord avenge the wrongs you have done to me. But my hand will not touch you, as the old saying goes, from evildoers come evil deeds, so my hand will not touch you. Against whom has the king of Israel come out? Who are you pursuing? A dead dog? A flea? May the Lord be our judge and decide between us. May he consider my cause and uphold it. May he vindicate me by delivering me from your hand. When David finished saying this, Saul asked, "Is that your voice, David, my son?" And he wept aloud. You are more righteous than I," he said. "You have treated me well, but I have treated you badly. You have just now told me about the good you did to me. The Lord gave me into your hands, but you did not kill me. When a man finds his enemy, does he let him get away unharmed? May the Lord reward you well for the way you treated me today. I know that you will surely be king, and that the kingdom of Israel will be established in your hands. Now swear to me by the Lord that you will not cut off my descendants or wipe out my name from my father's family." So David gave his oath to Saul. Then Saul returned home, but David and his men went up to the stronghold. So first we'll look at David's character. So the story just shows us how righteous David is. Like, David could have attacked him. Bearing in mind, if you read the chapters before this, and if you've read the Psalms as well, the Psalms of David, you would know how much grief David was going through. And he could have easily killed Saul. Now, he didn't, because one, he was anointed by the Lord, which we learned earlier on that the Lord regretted anointing him because of a command that he didn't actually do. But he held his anger. Even he was being chased down, Saul and his army wanted him dead. But when he got the chance, he took the bigger man and just, instead of choosing violence, he actually told him, "Look, I'm not. Whoever's telling you that I'm gonna harm you or this and that, they're wrong. Look." He decided to explain the situation instead of rushing to kill him. And when he explained the situation with kindness, that's when Saul realized what mistake that he actually did, and he realized that actually David isn't a threat to me. The way I've behaved, I should be dead right now, basically. David should have killed me, but instead he had so much righteousness that he actually didn't, even though I technically deserve it the way I. So David's character in this situation teaches us not to rush to anger with our enemies. It's another thing where you should kind of forgive. And in this situation, it was more so he realized, okay, I don't know why he's coming, why he's after me, why he keeps chasing me. So I'm gonna make it clear to him, you shouldn't be. I'm not a threat to you. This, that. For him to realize, where if he just went full on violence, then he would never have been able to explain the situation. But that's how, the sort of thing where it comes to like forgiving someone, or if you're enemy with something, or if you've had a disagreement with someone, not to hold a grudge, because, work it out amongst themselves if it can be worked out, and come to an agreement, depending on like what it is. Now, when it comes to Saul's character, this one is, again, not to be quick to anger and not to listen to whispers, if you get what I mean. I feel that especially this tends to happen, especially in like schools and secondary schools, where it comes to like rumours and stuff, and people saying, oh, that person said this about you, that person said that about you. Don't rush to anger, or that person's going to come and, that sort of thing. Don't rush to anger. If you want to if you want to kind of confront them, but don't confront them with anger. Just go up to them and say, I've heard you've been talking about this, is it true? That sort of thing. Like, don't like react onto rumours, because a lot of the time rumours, whispers, or what someone said about somebody, because a lot of the time it's lies and it's not true. But yeah, that's basically to summarise this chapter of the book, is to basically don't rush to anger, don't be Saul and trust rumours and whispers, because again, a lot of the time they're untrue. Find out if they are true, and if you're going to approach that person, approach them with a manner you would like someone to approach you. And then with David, it's all about, again, if someone's like hitting you with like jibes, or it could even be like hate or something like that, again, don't attack hate with hate. Like, if you go back to the verse, let me find it. Yeah, if you go back to verse 13, it says, as the old saying goes, from evildoers come evil deeds, so my hand will not touch you. So once you go down to their level, now you've now committed an evil deed. So committing an evil deed towards another person that's committed an evil deed does not make that right, if that makes any sense. So yeah, that is it for this video.